So more inclined towards plant management and more inclined towards manufacturing, manufacturing plant management and improving its efficiency. So HOL, PNG, and yeah, ITC also. So these are FMCG companies, and so this is FMCG sector. So second sector is automotive sector. So majorly in automotive sector, two companies usually come. One is JLR and one is Bajaj. So pretty good R&D background these companies has, and your role is on the is in the R&D sector. So these many options are available, I think. And yeah, so for chemicals, so Aman, can you tell for chemical options for chemical? I might miss those.
Yeah, hi guys. Like for chemical, I must say there aren't that many companies, but yeah, surely Piramal and DRL is one that focuses more on the chemical side. But as Vinay mentioned, like PNG, HUL, ITC, these also take people from chemical and mechanical. So yeah, these are the overall, like you will not find that many companies for the core as compared to the other profiles such as software or ML role. So yeah,
So
that's it.
yeah, these many companies are there. Yeah, just to mention, JLR and Bajaj opens for mechanical manufacturing and aerospace departments. So that is a sad thing, I know. So yeah, so these many options are there. So, according to your previous experience, so let's say in my case, I was a member of Team Cart. Team Cart is a Formula Student Research Group in our college. So, pretty much automotive background. So, I was fascinated with automobiles and automotive engineering. And JLR, for for me, JLR was a dream company. So, in my case, considering my background and my passion, so I chose the automotive sector as my point of interest. But yeah, I applied for HUL ITC also, but unfortunately I couldn't get in. Yeah, so you just follow your interest, and you just have to know what are the criterias to get shortlisted in these companies. So for ITC, I think you should have 9 plus CG. So if you are interested to join ITC, but your CG is not that great, so you have to consider those points also. So you can less prioritize the ITC, and you can more prioritize, let's say, the companies with lesser CG requirements. And then yeah, you primary focus should be on your interest, and then these type of constraints that we can't change within these 3 to 4 months. So that would be my filter to select the companies. Yeah. So any other point, other panelist?
Thank you, Vinay. Yashi, would you
Yeah.
like to add something to this?
Yeah, apart from the points that Vinay and Aman mentioned, I would like to add that first you should prioritize the profile you want to set for. And after that, like for people who are from electronics background, you'll have companies like Google Hardware and Texas Instruments for day one and day two. After that, also there will be companies like Qualcomm, Siemens, Intel, Samsung R&D, Silicon Labs. So for electronic background, you'll have ample companies coming, and they will open for multiple roles as well. Like Texas Instruments opens for 4 roles: digital, analog, embedded, and signal profile. So you can first decide the profile which you want to go for, and then you can prepare accordingly. And that's it. Thank you.
Um, thank you, Yashi.
Now, with a wide variety of things to be done, panelists, we would like to know what are the prerequisites for the core profile. Yashi, would you like to start?
Yeah. So for the core profile, so for electronics background, first you need to be very thorough with the fundamental concepts. So you can follow some playlists and all, and you can be very thorough with whatever the fundamental concepts are there from for your profile. And after that, you can go for the in-depth knowledge about the subject, and there are some technical skills that are further required, and a decent CG, and that's all maybe for the prerequisite for the core profile.
Oh, thank you, Yashi. Aman, would you go next?
Yeah, yeah, sure. So for the prerequisite part, I would say ki you must be clear with your concepts. Like I can't stress more upon the thing ki you must be clear with your basics. The fundamental is important. Like in the interview that went like I had, like I would say ki it was more on the basic side. They will only ask you basic questions related to thermodynamics. So be clear with the important concepts in the core profile like thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, heat transfer, or you can say for the chemical, a little knowledge of IPC maybe. So yeah, that is it. Other than prerequisite, your interest is important foremost. So there must be that thing ki you are not into other things, like not like without your interest now if you pursue this core profile, I don't think it makes much sense to you. So yeah, that's it from my side.
Yeah, so
Thank
adding to the Aman's answer, yeah, so interest is very important. So sometimes what happens is compared to these non-core profiles and the salaries or stipends we get in non-core profiles are a little bit higher compared to core profiles. So you have to really determine for before selecting the core profile, and for that you should build your interest. Yeah, and specifically for core profile, you should it is recommended if you are just a minute. Yeah, so it is recommended to have some different projects in a that in particular core domain. And yeah, so decent CG of let's say it is sufficient. Yeah, so projects, you should have projects and you should have your CG also. And if you are having internship experience in a core domain, that will be good enough.
So I would like to add to Vinay's point, like if you don't have internship, then don't take like much stress of it, because for the third years, like those who are just passing out of their second years and sitting in internships, like it won't be a major factor. But yeah, decent CG, as Vinay mentioned, will be a major factor. Like anything around 8.5 or above or 8, that is like good enough for you to get shortlisted. And for companies like ITC or HUL, like they may have a higher cutoff for the CGPA, but for Piramal, I won't say ki CGPA was much of a factor in their shortlisting criteria. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Aman. Moving forward, can you shed some light on how does a strong CV for the core profile looks like? What are the important spikes that the companies look forward to? And are online courses worth writing in it? So any one of you would like to answer first?
Yeah, so I would like to add some points. So usually company sees, so let's say in case of any automotive company, I would say, so they will find a guy who has some who had done some things like some projects in the automotive sector. But apart from that, if you are not having specific background of automotives, then also like what projects you are doing in your whole like 2 years or 3 years maybe, so they will see upon that. Yeah, and you have to mention uh, these projects in a CV in a little bit of specific manner. So let's say you have some results, some concrete results. So let's say I increased my project's efficiency, or I increased my model efficiency by 10%. So you have to mention those numbers. So the numbers really matters in the CV. Yeah. So and I'm not sure for the online courses worth in a CV. Yeah. So Aman and Yashi. You can continue.
So I would say that you can mention for the core profile, you can mention whatever the courses that you have done which might be relevant to the core profile you are applying for. You should mention them thoroughly. And you should also mention the lab courses that you have done. And whatever the software tools or the languages that you have learned during the labs or otherwise. So you can mention them. You can mention them. Online courses, yeah, if it is relevant and you have done it nicely, you should definitely mention it in your CV if it is relevant and you know it nicely. And apart from that, the role of like there will be sections like PORs and extracurriculars for core profile. Those won't be much important. And for projects also, if you like, if you are in second, if you have just passed your second year, so you might not be expected to have very good projects in the core profile. But if you have, you can definitely mention it. And other projects also you can mention in your resume. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Yashi. Aman, would you like to share your thoughts as well?
Yeah, so coming on to CV and online courses, I think the first thing you should keep in your mind is you should not leave your CV blank, right? So if you don't have something to write in it, you can obviously write online courses, and if they are relevant to your profile and if they make sense to that particular company and the role they are looking for, you can definitely write it and write it in a good manner so that, and if you are confident about it, you can definitely like drive them into it. Like one thing I would recommend you is try to like drive the interview by like on your own terms. Maybe you can highlight the things which you are strong at, so that interviewer specifically they'll like it will catch their eye and they'll ask regarding related to it, right? And another thing is like you are just coming out of your second year, you have just completed it, so they won't expect you to have an internship or some flashy projects. But any day you can pursue some projects under professors or something which shows that you are interested in the core profile. That's it. And you can obviously write all the other things, like if you have knowledge in the ML or DL, you can definitely write those things, because what happens is ki currently all the industries are moving towards automation, right? So they don't mind if you have certain knowledge of ML which you can apply at their site or in their company. So that's pretty much it from my side.
Yeah, so even the course, there are some course projects also. So if you are not having anything, any other projects, you can fill your CV with those also. And as Aman mentioned, when you are writing in detail about this, about the particular project, you should bold some specific numbers you are confident at. And the uh, most important thing, do not mention anything in your CV for which you are not pretty much confident, and or don't fake anything in your CV. Otherwise, if so let's say someone asks you regarding that thing that you have faked, and if you are unable to answer, then they will definitely reject you at the same instant. So yeah, keep this thing in mind.
Thank you, Aman and Vinay. On to our next question. What is the importance of technical skills and core projects for the core specific profiles? Specifically, we would like to know if companies expect candidates to have any experience working on such projects. Eshi, would you like to share your insights?
Yeah, so for like the students who have just passed the second year, so the company might not expect you to have some very good projects in the core profile. So they give less weightage to that. However, like if you have some coursework projects, you can definitely mention it. And apart from that, you can like after doing revising your fundamentals and uh, preparing for the interviews and the test, you can do some self projects which is related to your profile, and you can put that. However, I would not say that it's very important, but it definitely gives the interviewer something to talk about during the interview. And if you have one, it's definitely good. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Yashi. Uh, Vinay, would you like to go next?
Uh, yeah. So, yeah, as Yashi mentioned, companies do not expect uh, much of technical skills and project from you as you are in second year. But I would say, after interacting with some interviewers, so I would say the people who are in third year, so from them the company's expectation are little bit higher, little bit. So not too much, little bit higher, because they are getting an extra year, so how they are utilizing it, so they judge upon that also. Yeah. And yeah always, if you are having a good project or any technical skill, specific technical skill, so you are appreciated. And nowadays I will suggest you, like I would like to tell you that, let's say in a mechanical field, the people who are you used to people who are very comfortable with using data in their mechanical work, like data analytics and all those things. So combining mechanical and data, or combining chemical and data, so these type of work is in boost currently. So yeah. So just to mention, so at least in JLR also I'm working on a same type of project where I have to combine the data and my mechanical knowledge. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Vinay.
Vinay. Aman, would you like to add some points?
Yeah, so coming to the technical skills, like see for the third years, like dual degree students, you can any day have some project. Like you should have it at least one project or maybe an internship. That would be better. But for the second years, like uh, they'll expect you to have you should be thorough with your like core knowledge and the core concepts. That would be more of a focus of theirs because the interviewers don't like dive into it like much into the projects and your technical skills. They'll just focus more on the like uh, fundamentals of thermodynamics and all those concepts. But if you have like intern and project written on your CV, it gives you an edge over other like candidates, and definitely they'll ask about it. And if you explain them in a like better way key that relates to your a particular role, that would be better, that would help you.
Yeah, so there is a simple thing. Understand. So let's say you are having a project, and in case two you are not having a project. So the interviewer are usually working on a practical projects, right? So they would like to know and they would like to discuss upon your projects and what you have done in it. So, but if you are not having any project, so they have to ask you some mechanical questions or fundamental questions. So that discussion might be boring or something. So that's why you get some edge, extra edge, if you are having a technical projects. So that is a thought process. And yeah, so while preparing for your interviews, so you just try to get the intuition of each and every concepts in mechanical or any subject. So let's say they ask you some questions. So if you are not remembering the particular formula, but how you approach with your intuition is the most important thing for an interview. And if you are able to crack this, then you are in. So that is my experience, at least.
Oh, thank you, Vinay. Thank you, Aman. Now, panelists, can you please provide a generalized overview of the selection procedure and the nature of the rounds? Um, Aman, would you like to start?
Yeah. So for Piramal, like in general, there will be a CV shortlist, right? And like for Piramal, I'll tell you, like there was CV shortlist, and then we had a assessment. Okay, like some in past they have taken assessment related similar to what PNG and all the FMCG takes, but during my time it was sort of a 50 question round, which was a mix of like aptitude and core concepts. So that was it. And after that, we had a GD round. So for the GD, I don't exactly know the numbers, but around 20 or 25 people were selected for the GDs. And then after the GD, we had the final interview round, which was taken by a senior HR and some senior person over here, technical guy. So both of them were together in the like on in the virtual mode, and we had the interview there. Yeah. So this is the overall. It remains more or less similar for all the companies that come for a core profile. So,
Yeah, so I would like to highlight some more details regarding some specific companies. So I will start with HUL. So for HUL, there is a Google form, simple Google form, which will assess your personal opinions. So how you are using your mind or matters, or situational questions, and they judge you upon those questions. So if you receive the form, HUL form, so I would strongly suggest you to take at least 7 to 8 hours to fill those Google forms. It is very very serious, and very few people get shortlisted in this process. After that, there is a higher view interview for HUL, and in this interview, you will get 5 minutes to read problem statements. There will be a rapid fire of three problem statements, and you will get just 5 minutes to read those and 10 minutes to make the solutions upon it, and 10 minutes to record and send your suggestions to them upon that question. And this is a second shortlisting criteria for HUL, and third one is an interview. And usually till last year, the HUL's interview was very 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 core based, and like rigorous interview process, let's say for 1 hour or 1.5 hour, only asking about the core questions in depth. So this is for HUL. For ITC also, there is a form, Google form, but yeah, as I mentioned, ITC usually shortlist the people with higher CGPA, or the department rankers, all those things. Yeah. uh, then for PNG, there is a psychometric test. So the first test is what is the first? Yeah, the first test is 100 questions. First test consists of 100 questions of personal opinions again. So they are judging your views, and the main thing in this test. So let's say you are answering a particular question's answer as option A, and they will ask you the same question again, uh, and they will just tweak the sentence formation. So the question will be same, but they will be judging you whether you are stick with your opinion or not. So you shouldn't contradict yourself at that position. So keeping in that mind, you just honestly fill the test, fill the answers, and then if you are shortlisted, then you will receive a psychometric test, another psychometric test. You will get some details regarding that on the internet or YouTube. So very strange test. You all can search on the internet regarding that. I can't explain it right now, because there are animated things. Many things are there. And third step is a group discussion, and the final step is an interview. And interview is mostly HR based. So yeah, if you are reaching the level of interview, then almost you are selected. And yeah, so for Bajaj, the same 100 questions of personal opinions, then technical test is important for Bajaj, and then interview. And for JLR also, similar test. And the JLR test is little bit different. I have actually documented all the details regarding that, and I will share it with you guys. So yeah, so basically for mechanical companies, these are the details of test.
Thank you, Aman and Vinay. Yashi, would you like to add some points?
Yeah, so for the electronics background, first is the CV, like you have to submit first is the CG cutoff, and after that you can submit your CV through the CDC portal, and then you'll receive a test link for the profiles that you have applied for. And after the like the test is for 1 hour duration, and you'll be having multiple choice questions, and there will be two sections. One will be the technical section, and the other one will be the mental ability section. So you can appear for the test, and after that, if you are shortlisted, you'll receive the your interview will be scheduled. And um, so after in the interview, they'll basically ask you the technical questions and maybe one or two puzzles. And after the interview, there may be one HR round, and after that, you'll know your results by the end of the day. So that's the basic general selection process for the company.
Thank you, Yashi. Moving on, based on your experience, what is the level of expertise that is expected by the interviewers? Aman, would you like to take up this question?
Yeah. Uh, so as I have already mentioned, I can't stress more upon the fact that your fundamentals should be clear. Like they'll focus more on how do you approach a problem. Like they'll just give you situations, hypothetical situations, and how you will deal with it. Suppose like they'll just throw at you ki you are doing a project and you are stuck into it. What will you do in that case? So those things are there. Like you can tell them ki I'll approach these people or senior persons, those who are experienced, I'll do that. And they'll ask you puzzles, maybe some puzzles, and how do you approach a puzzle, right? And they'll also ask you basic questions and related to your daily life. Ki where do you see an example where heat transfer is taking place, or like what do you think if like they'll give you some practical situations, and they'll want to check your application of the theories of the theoretical knowledge that you have, the fundamentals of thermodynamics, maybe heat transfer, mass transfer, and how do you apply those things in real life, and how do you visualize things. Like do you think ki, like you must have read somewhere ki, or that the things that heat faster they cool faster as well. So all those things, like they'll just check your fundamentals and how strong you are at solving problems, your analytical skills, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And please be prepared for the HR round because they'll just throw at you some trap. There are like many resources available on the internet. You can just follow them, and you guys can anytime reach out to us. We'll just give you the resources for that. So yeah, that's it.
Hello. Yeah. So one more point to add, that guys, be literally be thorough with your CV. They can ask anything about it and they can dig deeper into that. So be thorough with your CV. And other thing is, let's say they ask you a particular question. So you might get it wrong. You might get it wrong, but you are on a right track of thought process. Then they literally appreciate it, because they might ask some question. They literally don't expect from us the right answer, but they expect from us, what they expect from us, the approach that we are using to solve that question. So yeah, approach is very pretty much important.
Thank you, Vinay. Yashi, would you like to add some more points?
Yeah. So first of all, whatever the courses that you have done so far, and so you can revise them. You should have a good knowledge about it, and your fundamentals also definitely you should have a good knowledge about the fundamentals. And then like there will be some topics which are not covered in the courses, so you can learn about those topics from the internet. Like for the digital profile verilog, static time analysis, these are the topics which are not covered in the courses, so you can learn about these topics separately from the internet, and the interviewer might ask you about these questions, so you can prepare about them separately. And yeah, as Vinay and Amante mentioned, like how you approach the problem, that is really very important. The interviewer might help you. So if anything is not about the question is not clear, you should definitely talk about it. And you should say like something is given to you or any circuit is given to you, you should mention your intuition about the circuit rather than just go and start solving it. You should mention about your intuition and uh, just uh, convey your thought process to your interviewer. That should be good enough.
Yeah, and I would just
Thank
like
you,
to
Yashi.
add one point. Like interviewers are there to help you. So anytime you feel stuck or you think I'm going wrong, just convey to your interviewer that I am stuck at this point. Could you please help me out? And he'll just give you a hint, or they really want to help you because they are also investing their time in hiring process, right? So just they just want key like you may go wrong, but if after getting the hint as well, if you correct yourself or if you go on the right track, everything is fine and you just don't need to worry about it. So yeah, make the interview interactive and just yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Aman.
and you can anytime reach your reach to your seniors regarding the expectation of interviewers to know a little bit more about the expectation of interviewers.
Yeah, regarding the resources, what means what resources should we prepare? Means from where we will get resources. Aman, would you like
So
to start?
yeah, Aman, yeah.
Yeah, Vinay, you can.
You can go first.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So are you asking specifically to the topics like for mechanical, for chemical, and for electronics, let's say, or HR type of, like for HR preparation, which type of material, or overall? Yeah. So I will
Re-
mention the overall. Yeah. So for mechanical, I will mention. So the resources, you can refer to your class notes at first. If you are not having the class notes, you can always follow the NPTEL notes. You can always follow NPTEL lectures. And guys, don't really stress upon the formulas, remembering the formulas. Just get the intuition of whole concept while you are preparing. And when your basic preparation is done, in case of mechanical, I am mentioning, you can just practice the gate questions, the gate exam. I think you will be familiar with the, so you can prepare for that gate questions. Usually these type of questions comes into the test. Yeah. And regarding the interview, I mentioned, all we all are mentioning that you should be thorough with your fundamentals, and you should know the physical significances of all the concepts. Yeah. So these are some, anything you would like to add, Aman?
No, I think this is the same for chemical. You can refer your
Yeah.
notes any day for the like core topics, and you can also approach your seniors. They may have like some resources which is specific to them that they followed, and NPTEL is always there for some things which are like there.
Yeah.
And for the HR rounds, you can get the like common questions everywhere over the internet, and we can also share it with you.
So there is
And
a resource, I think, resources for CDC, in which there are some HR questions, 60
yes,
most toughest HR questions, I think.
yes, exactly.
So yeah, these guys just have to read those questions. They will get a clear idea
And also,
what are the expectations.
I like to mention one thing, like please prepare or like have a mock test for the like assessment that we mentioned, psychometric test and all those things, because that would really help you out if you have done it earlier, like during the selection process. So yes,
Yeah,
just
and
Aman,
you
wanted to
can
mention.
practice different mock interviews with your seniors. It just gives you some clarity about the interview, and you will get much more confidence. So just tell any senior to grill your CV. And for just so before the interview, my friend, one of my friend, just grilled my CV for continuously for 4 hours. So that gave me a pretty much confidence to appear for JLR interview. Yeah.
Aman, could you please share that resources that you were talking about? We will share it with our audience.
Yeah, I'll give it to you after this interview, like panel discussion. So yes.
Thank you. Yashi, would you like to add something on this?
No, they pretty much covered most of it. Yeah, you can follow the NVIDIA lectures, your class notes. You can pick up the course book and you can practice the questions from there. And for the puzzles and all, you can refer the Geeks for Geeks, and that should be enough for it. Yeah, and
The
in some of
preparation
the cases,
varies. Yeah, yeah. Yes, she continue.
for like they might ask you some questions related to coding questions and all those things. That's not in detail, but if you think about it, like if it comes, so for that, your first year PDS slides should be fair enough for that. Yeah, and apart from that, you can always follow the NPTEL lectures first for the fundamentals, then related to your course, and then you can practice the questions. And apart from that, some of the topics which are not given, you can study from the internet, and that should be.
Uh, and usually the preparation for the interview or test varies from company to company. So if you get shortlisted in a specific company, so you can always approach the particular senior who got intern or who got placed in that particular company. Yeah. So there are some more details which can't be, I think each and every detail can't be covered here. So it will take too much time. So yeah, you can always approach us.
And one more thing, you can find the past year or previous year questions which the company asked. You can find them on some Facebook page like JKR Funda pages. There you can find there. So there you can get an idea like what kind of questions were asked. So you can practice them before your test to get an idea of the questions.
So we have another important question to address. Many students are curious about the coding requirements for code profiles, especially in the electrical and electronics field. Panelists, could you please share insights on how much coding is typically required for these profiles and provide guidance on how students can best prepare for it? Aman, would you like to take up this question?
See, for the profile that I am currently interning it, you require zero coding skills. So, like any day, it is better to have coding skill, as I mentioned, like ML and your data analytics, like data analysis skills and all those things. They certainly give you an edge because like what is happening is right now there is a shift, right? Everyone is moving towards automation, and each industry, like every industry, has some scope for automation in them. So that is good to have, but yeah, but for my like profile, I would say zero coding skill is required.
Thank you, Aman. Vinay, would you like to go next?
Yeah. Same goes for me. So not exactly coding skills, but I would like to mention that if you combine your core skills with data science or machine learning, like those stuff, then you will be a pretty good asset for the company. Yeah. So that is a thing. And for specific to JLR, there is a one coding round also. So the JLR test consists of three parts. One is a aptitude test. One is mechanical or automotive IQ, like automotive test, and third one is a coding test. So yeah, Yashi told about aptitude test, and automotive test is basically consist of fundamentals of automotive such as vehicle dynamics, chassis, different subsystems. and gears, all those things, and your mechanical stuff also, like structures, design of machine elements, all those stuff. And third one is a coding round. So there are two questions. One is easy level question, one is a medium level question. So to get the easy one correct, no, not much coding practice is required actually. So it is very easy. So if you are unfamiliar with coding also, you can mathematically write a pseudocode also. You just need to know the syntax. So I would suggest you to practice like mostly 10 to 15 questions on any platform. Um, so and the practice, you can practice some C++ syntax. So that's what is required. Yeah.
Thank you, Vinay. Yashi, we would like to hear from you on this topic.
Yeah, so as Vinay mentioned, same goes for me as well. Like you don't require in-depth knowledge for coding. But in case they ask, or if the test puts up a question on coding, so your first year PDS slides should be enough for that. You need not do much for coding. And during your internship, it depends on the project whether or not you need the coding knowledge. But for the internship, for the selection, you don't require as much coding. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Ashi. As we approach the end, we would like to request the panelists to provide some last minute tips and advice to help students cope with the internship season and strategies for maximizing their preparation in last 1 month time. Vinay, please share your strategy.
Just a minute. Yeah. So last moment preparation tips. Yeah. So in the last moment, as you are preparing for core, in my case, I got some panic regarding my preparation. I was trying to cover data also. I was trying to cover coding also, because at some point I felt like there are uh, much lesser companies in core sector, and if I would be able to get into it or not. So yeah, so last moment panic is usual, and don't worry about that if you get like that. So let's say, uh, so you can just practice some questions, like as I mentioned, for your technical test. And yeah, you can give some mock interviews with the senior. They will literally give you confidence, because let's say you have some 10 days left. uh, I will just continue afterwards. So can any panelist go continue with that? I just have to go somewhere.
Thank you, Vinay. Yashi, would you like to go next?
Yeah, so for the last one preparation tips, first see when within 15 days or so the CV portal opens. So there will be a lot of hustle, like they give you a week or so. So you can note down the points that you want to mention in your CV. You can keep that aside. And apart from that, you can revise the notes that you might have made so far, or the topics which you haven't covered. You can do that thing, and you can prepare for the interview. Also, revise whatever the concepts are there, and you can stay calm. You can keep in touch with the seniors. You can get your CV reviewed by the seniors, and uh, that's it. Just stay calm and keep. If you don't get selected for any company, don't get disheartened. The next company will come, and so just keep in touch with your friends, and um, revise whatever is you have prepared. Revise it nicely, and that's all.
Thank you, Yashi. Aman, if you have any additional points, please add them.
Yeah, I'll just list down some things. It starts with your CV, right? So first list down all the things that you want to write or you have done over your span, like your stay at IIT Kharagpur in a document, maybe some Word file. And from there, you can pick up the things that you want to put in your CV. Maybe you are preparing your CV for multiple profiles, so you can do this thing. After doing this thing, just get your CV reviewed with the senior, maybe one or two seniors. So this completes the CV part. And coming to the selection criteria and all shortlisting time, it really gets stressful, right? So there will be a lot of stress. So just keep in touch with your friends and keep sharing your BT with every other guy that you have, like you are in contact with. So that really helps, I must say. And uh, you should practice the test, like the standard tests, as I mentioned, the psychometric test and the HR questions, those things. Like you must keep in mind, like you must have a like answer in your mind for the questions, like tell me your strength or your weakness. These are the most common questions for the HR round, and you must prepare earlier. I would say ki you must really prepare these things. And again, for the interview round, after getting shortlisted, please contact the seniors, those who were shortlisted and those who were selected as well, and give mock interviews with your friends. And I think that would be enough for you to secure an internship.
Yeah, one more point to
Thank
add.
you, Aman.
Yeah, so one more point to add, guys. This is not any competition. So just don't keep competition within your friends. So you all have to get a good internship, right? So you just try to help your peers also. So there's sportsmanship should be there during your preparation. You should not think like he is my competitor or something. So it will be not beneficial for your preparation also. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like, move on as a unit or as a team, I would say, like help each other out. And I think everyone will be in good, like, place some, like, and if you don't get shortlisted, I would say don't get disheartened. There are always more companies, and you would finally have your like internship somewhere. So don't worry, there are ample of opportunities for you.
Yeah. So in my case, I will just share my experience. So in my case, yeah. So in my case, what happened was, if I will tell you my plan B, C, D, all those things. So the plan A was CDC, and if in case I don't get an internship from CDC, then I can apply for my tax and all those 18 foreign internship programs. If I don't get that, then I can apply off campus. And if I don't get that, then I can do anytime I can do a project under the professor. So like many opportunities are there actually. So just don't dishearten, as Aman mentioned, if you do not get shortlisted. So sometimes luck plays a role, sometimes many times luck plays a role. So yeah, that's the thing.
Thank you, Vinay. Now it's time for the question and answer session. Audience, please post your queries in the chat box and we will address them. Feel free to post all your queries.
Yashi, you have a question. Could you write? Could you please write down the name of the pages where we will be able to get the PYQs? Hello.
Yeah, could you please repeat that?
Could you please write down the names of the pages where we will be able to get the PYQs?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll do that.
There is one more question from Solanki Janish. He's asking from
So just a
Vinay.
minute,
Could you?
just a minute, just a minute. So will will I able to see the questions in this Q&A option, or or what? Yeah. So I'm unable to see any question.
Sorry,
So you are
can
receiving
I?
only.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You
yeah,
can ask. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So the question is for Vinay. Could you please share the document for JLR and what concepts are needed for technical tests?
Uh, Yeah, yeah, I have documented all those things. So what is the name who is asking the question?
Solanki.
Or otherwise I will share it with you guys. You can just
Yeah.
yeah, you can just divert it to them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, same for me. I'll share these guys and you can share them further.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Yashi. Audience, do you have any more questions? Oh,
Okay. Before we end, panelists, would you like to add any points that were not covered or provided general advice to the students? Vinay, would you like to begin?
Yeah. So let's say if you get an offer, and let's say if you are getting two offers for a day, then stop believing the place comms. Okay, so they will try to make some politics. Like you choose this company, you choose that company. You just stick with the process. You will get. So this incident happened to me and my friend also. So accidentally, uh, we were getting into Bajaj instead of JLR. So we received both offers, but they were trying to divert us to Bajaj for some reason. Don't know. So there are some politics things also. So just don't believe at that situation. If someone is trying to divert you from your path at the process, yeah. So that was
Thank you. Thank you, Vinay. We have one more question in the chat box.
cool. Cool. Yeah.
In JLR Mech, do I need to have electronics knowledge as well, as the profile is megatronics?
Yeah, it's good. It's good if you are having in knowledge in a electronic side, but they didn't expect you. They don't expect you much from you in the electronics background. If you are familiar with your mechanical concepts, they will teach you the electronic stuff and control stuffs. So I didn't have any background in a controls, but I'm working on controls right now. So they have some training, and they are having really intelligent people in their company to teach us regarding those. So yeah.
thank you, Vinay. Yashi, please share your thoughts.
Um, Vinay covered pretty much everything. You can always ask seniors if you face any problems. You can there are many blogs and all which are published, so you can read about others' experiences, and you can know about the topics which you have to learn, which you should learn, and how the process goes. You can check whenever the CDC portal opens, you can check for the company. They'll provide you the details about the test and all. You can plan accordingly and don't panic. You can always contact your seniors and stay in contact with your friends and just prepare nicely and be calm. That's it.
Thank you, Yashi. Aman, any final words or advice from your side?
I would say only one thing, like be confident throughout the CDC process and don't isolate yourself. Help each other out and seek help wherever required. And please reach out to people for help. They'll help you out, and it will really help throughout the CDC process.
Okay. Thank you, Aman. We would like to express our gratitude to all the panelists for sharing their valuable time, insights, and experiences with us today. Your contribution have been truly invaluable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have one last question
Cool.
for
Cool.
the mech student with not a high CG. What should I do to increase my chances?
So if you are not having any high CG, so I assume you invested your time in some projects. Uh, and if you are not having a, any project in a core, then it might be you might face some difficulty in shortlisting. I will frankly say, I will not give you a false hope. So you can't increase your CG right now, and I think I'm pretty sure that you can't do a project also. So you can just try to build your CV as good as possible. Try to add, try to fill it, and try to be thorough with your fundamentals. That's what you can do for now.
Thank you, Vinay. We would also like to thank the audience for their active participation and engagement through the panel discussion. Your presence and enthusiasm have made this event even more meaningful and interactive.
We sincerely hope that the information and knowledge shared today will prove to be helpful to all of you. Our aim was to provide valuable insights and practical takeaways, and we hope that you found them beneficial.
Once again, thank you for all being a part of this panel discussion. Your support and interest are greatly appreciated.
This concludes our session. Before we disperse, just a small announcement before we end. Tomorrow, we will be focusing on the software profile. We look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow to gain insights into the software profile. Thank you very much. See you all soon.
Thank you guys. It was good to be here, and yeah,
Yeah.
all the
So
best
you
for
can
your CDC internships.
reach us anytime if you want any help in particular. We will be happy to help you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you
you.
and wish you all the best for your series. See you internship.
Thank you, Yashi. So,
Thank you, Vinay.